Welcome back to Island Bike Life. Today, we're going to be doing a head-to-head comparison of the Giro Switchblade and the Bell Super 3R. Thanks for checking it out. These are two of a variety of helmets that come from a few manufacturers that are convertible in nature. The chin bars or areas of the helmet detach so that you can have a two-in-one helmet combo. I've had extensive time on both of these helmets and was able to come up with some good pros and cons between the pair. Now obviously the Bell in this particular model isn't a female colorway. Unfortunately they were sold out for the season, so Rock City Cycles wasn't able to get me a male version colorway. Luckily I got a pretty small beaner, so it did fit and I was able to get a good sense for it. This helmet now belongs to my wife, who uses it on every single one of her rides. I took this particular helmet, the Giro, on a number of different road trips, both in Europe and throughout the Kootenays here in British Columbia. While they're not a direct comparison in terms of their safety, the Giro does have a higher DH rating versus the Bell Super 3R. The reason I picked these two is because they're very similar in terms of price point, both right around that $300 in the Canadian mark. The one thing you're going to notice right away about the Giro is that the chin bar itself is very small, and because of that the earpieces continually are on the helmet even when it's in its smaller version, versus the Bell where the whole chin guard comes right off, wrapping around to the back. For some this might really matter in terms of aesthetics only, but also for myself in terms of cooling and the ability to hear in the Giro. Because the ears are covered all of the time, I did find that in certain circumstances I wasn't able to hear as clearly some of the people that I was riding with. That being said, the large vents on the ears allow for very good ventilation, and I never found that it was overly hot. Once I got used to the ears being covered, I never really noticed it. As for that ventilation, obviously the Bell vents a lot better. You can see that it has at least double the amount of vents that the Giro does. The Giro itself, I don't want to say it doesn't ventilate well, it's just that it is a little bit hotter overall than the Bell. In terms of comfort, for me however, the Giro is hands down the most comfortable helmet I've ever had on my head. Both come in the newest technology of nips for crash protection and all of that, but the padding inside the Giro really hugged my head nicely. It was not overly tight, but it was also very plush. It felt very, very secure. The Bell, while still very comfortable, didn't have that same sort of comfort feel and that plushness feel that the Giro had when I was wearing it. That being said, that plushness for me does come at a cost, because I do sweat a lot when I'm riding, especially if I'm out on a long trail day doing lots of climbing and descending. The Giro does definitely get very saturated and it can take longer to dry out versus a Bell or other smaller, less plush helmets, sometimes up to a day and a half or 2 full days if I don't leave it out in the sun. I find that the Giro is much easier and quicker to take the chin strap on and off, and it also takes up less real estate, whether that's in a hydration pack or if I'm just holding it on my bike or putting it in my bike shorts, just something to take it off for a climb. The Bell itself is quite large in terms of the chin guard when it comes off. It can be stowed away easily either on your handlebar or in a backpack or a waist pack, something like that. But it definitely takes up more real estate in whatever form that it's going to look like for you when you're out riding. In terms of the buckle and the tightening mechanism, I definitely have to give the win there to Bell. While the Giro is very secure and very tight, I did find over time that the locking mechanism on the rear, while it is significantly larger, didn't quite turn or click over as nice and was sometimes quite challenging to even loosen off. The Bell has a more standard mechanism and the action on it, both tightening and loosening it, has been flawless throughout the review period. So in the end, there's definitely both pros and cons for both of these helmets. Neither one is really going to be better or worse than the other, and a lot of it's going to be personal preference. At a lot of local enduro races, I've seen, I would estimate, an equal number of Giros as I've seen Bells, and to be fair, a lot of Liats as well. For me, if I had to pick only one, I think that I would probably go with the Bell. I like the little bit of a lighter helmet, and the more freedom the helmet offers when the chin guard is off. However, the Giro was definitely preferable in terms of overall comfort on long days, but that came at the penalty of being able to dry out at a much slower rate. Well, I really hope you like this look and quick comparison of the Giro Switchblade and Bell Super 3R. If you like what I'm doing here, think about hitting the subscribe and the like button, leave me a comment down below, and come and find me on Instagram. And as always, thanks again for watching. Now let's go hit the trails.